On YouTube, this is a new installment to my channel, Retro Comic Corner, where I review comic books that I like of retro characters, even in a new form or old comic books, because comic book is the oldest thing that we have around that people are still collecting. I just got back into collecting. Today, I am reviewing Transformers Prime, Rage of the Dinobots. I was hoping that we could have got them in the cartoon, but it seems that they brought them to comic book life. And in this story, you find out that Soundwave was basically captured all the Dinobots, redid them in his likeness, made them more powerful, and somehow they was kind of outcast by the Autobots a little bit. But this is basically after the battle between they placed this after the battle between Megatron and Optimus Prime. They both left Cybertron and they're basically about to evacuate Cybertron because the Decepticons are basically still trying to take over. They're taking out all the bots left and right. So all we left with is the Dinobots, which is Grimlock, Sludge, Slug, Snarl, and Swoop, and Ultra Magnus, which is the second command to. He's not a Dinobot. He's an Autobot. He's second command to Optimus Prime, and we also have Soundwave and Scarab, or whatever his name is. I can't really pronounce his name, so I'm sorry if I messed it up for you. So basically, with this story, the story takes off. It's a battle breaking out. The Dinobots are just wrecking shit. They're basically the wreckers. If you know anything about the Transformer Wreckers, they're basically the wreckers of the Autobots, and they're very powerful. We first seen them in the first season of Transformers G1 cartoon back in the day. It was in episode 8. I was actually watching it the other day, and it was titled called SOS Dinobots. So go back and watch that. It's on Netflix. They were created by Wheeljack. Wheeljack was the creator of the Dinobots, so don't get it twisted. Thank God for Wheeljack. And thank God for the Dinobots. Too bad we're not going to get Wheeljack in a new movie, which is kind of retarded, but hey, that's Michael Bay for you. So, they're battling Decepticons left and right. And Ultramax is basically giving them command to board the ship and leave Cybertron. And basically, Grimlock's like, no, we're not going to leave no bots behind. We're going to search this planet before we take off. So they see some of the Decepticons retreating, and some of them retreating because they're taking them out left and right. Autobots, I mean not the Autobots, well they are Autobots, but the Dinobots is wrecking shit. Sludge is doing his thing. Slug is my man. He's a fucking asshole. He's like the Raphael from TMNT of the Dinobots. He's just an asshole. I gravitate to him more. They're just taking people out. Grimlock is the only one, like, basically in his robot form, taking people out because his T-Rex form or his beast form is basically a little bit uncontrollable. He loses it sometimes. Now, Dinobots seem they can control themselves more in their beast forms and in their robot forms because they believe that their robot forms are the weakest forms of them. So, they're taking them all left and right. Snarl is doing his thing with the blaster, taking Decepticons out. Some of them start to, like I said, retreat. Swoop goes flying off after them, saying there's nothing, I could take them out. Basically, he did what Ironhide did in the old cartoon. So, Swoop almost get blown out of the sky, and here comes Ultra Magnus and his ship, blowing the Decepticons off him, and basically the Decepticons got the best of them and blew Ultra Magnus out of the sky. Swooped also. So, long story short, I'm not gonna review the book one by one, but you can be able to follow along if you have the books already. But I'm doing all books in one because the storyline is so fluent, the artwork is so amazing, the color work is amazing, and it's just an awesome saga right there. But basically, they go survey the crash site to see if Ultra Magnus is still alive. They come to find out that whoever was in the ship, if Ultra Magnus is still living, he took it to the Decepticons to try to take him out, but he wound up being captured. So have Swoop. After they came in contact with a pod that has a Decepticon in it from like old ages. And he basically captures Swoop, brings him back to the jail or castle. Dinobots basically transform to go find Swoop. They found the prison. It's on top of a mountain, so they have to transform into robot mode to scale the wall. And Slug almost falls off because he just doesn't like his robot form. So when they get back to the top of the mountain, they transform back into their beast mode, take out guards, take out the security system, let go of all the captured Autobots. They went and saved Ultra Magnus, and they were looking for Swoop, and they couldn't find Swoop, so they went to the top of the mountain, and there goes a bunch of Decepticons with their commander, the dude name I can't pronounce, I'm sorry. And basically, Swoop comes out of nowhere saying, "All hell, Soundwave." Basically, they turned Swoop into a partial Decepticon, took away one of his eyes, and gave him a middle eye patch. Basically, the group is called the Forge. That's what we're gonna call them, the Forge, because that's the name in the book. And so Grimlock basically lays down, tells Ultra Magnus to back off. This is Dinobot business. He basically broke his deal. If I win, give us Swoop back. You change him back. If I lose, you have all of it. Basically, all the Dinobots, I guess, and the Ultra Magnus. So they get to fight. Well, Slug and Sludge, it snarled, shoots out a ring of fire around him, which was fucking amazing. Grimlock pulls out his sword and shield. They go at it. The commander is a little bit. The commander of the Forge is a bit faster than Grimlock. He uses his tail like an extra weapon, and during the whole time he's taunting Grimlock the whole time to transform into beast mode, transform into that true beast form that you know you have, the true power. Because he also knows that is when the Soundwave reprogrammed him in a way, and they made him like more powerful, and his beast mode is kind of fucking uncontrollable. So he knows this, so he's taunting. They battle him back and forth. Grimlock getting the best of him. He's getting the best of Grimlock. And so Grimlock is basically transformed into Grimlock. And he turns into old Grimlock. And like, me Grimlock, me King, me Beast King. And he whooping his ass and just destroyed him. And Swoop tried to jump in. He pushes Swoop down, stomps on his head, and look at him in the eye. Swoop comes back to consciousness, and he comes back to being that Dinobot we all know Swoop to be. And basically the battle's over. They get to leave, and as they're leaving, the commander switches to his beast form and said, "Grimlock, see, you can beat me in your beast form. Let me show you what mines can do." They basically destroyed them. Ultra Magnus and the boys, they just ripped them fucking apart. Soundwave came out. He's like the mad scientist talking about, basically saying that, it's like my greatest creation and shit like that. And they start to battle Grimlock and Soundwave. He does put up this big force shield. Ultra Magnus and them is just straight blasting at it. Then he used some of this type of shock bomb, and just they wound up waking up inside of one of Soundwave's mini labs on Cybertron, and Grimlock's in the laboratory about to get operated on by Soundwave. Sludge and Ultra Magnus get into it, which is like a distraction to get the Decepticons to let down the force field and come in. So they took him out, and basically wrecked fucking house. They went into the lab. They seen back to Soundwave and Grimlock in the lab. He basically telling Grimlock, "You was my greatest creation, then you lost it, you escaped, and now it's come full circle. You came back to me." Basically takes his face mask off, because Grimlock can't talk without it. And basically he's about to turn Grimlock into his true form. And then he comes back, and he's he's having memories and stuff of what happened before. Starscream is the reason why he escaped in the first place. So all you hear is booms, Ultra Magnus and the boys come in. They basically pinned up Soundwave, ripped him apart, and come to find out Soundwave, that was a body double. And he tells him he has mini labs all over the place. And long story short, they're about to depart Cybertron, Ultra Magnus, and them. And Grimlock said, "No, our job is not done. We must hunt down more Autobots and see where Soundwave is." And that's my review. Peace. I'm not really with that, but yeah. So basically, they're gonna go find Soundwave and just try to destroy his labs, all his labs, and find Autobots in the process to evacuate them. And so that's really my review. Stay tuned for my next review, which will be the Beast Hunters series. So, peace out, dude.